Hello. Today, I am in gorgeous Park Slope, Brooklyn to talk to Heather Drayzen. Heather is an amazing painter and all-around lovely person. She's got a great story to tell us. Come on in. Let's see what's in store.
Hey, Sam.
Hi. Oh my God, I haven't seen you in forever.
Oh, so good to see you. I've missed you.
I've missed you.
Part of the mess, we're moving.
Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and those in between. I'm Sam Blank. Today, I'm joined by Heather Drayzen. Heather, you're a painter and educator. Your work focuses on small-scale works depicting intimate domestic moments rendered in bright hues and neons. You received a BFA from School of Visual Arts and an MAT from Rhode Island School of Design. You have shown with My Pet Ram, the Middle Room Gallery, Noon Project, Thierry Goldberg, Deanna Evans Project, and the Living Gallery. Heather, thank you for being here with us today. How are you feeling?
Good. Thanks, Sam. It's good to see you again.
It's good to see you. I have missed seeing you for so long. I want to jump right in. In past interviews, you mentioned a daily writing practice. Do you still write every day?
I haven't been doing my morning pages. I've been slacking on that, but I still do my one-line-a-day journal where I note what happened that day.
Awesome. What was your favorite thing? I guess I was going to ask what was your favorite thing you wrote this morning, but do you have a favorite thing you wrote in the last month? Any of your one-lines that were great?
I would say, I'm moving, which we'll talk more about. So
Yeah.
I think like a lot of it was sort of struggling with that and just putting some notes.
Had your past writings impacted your work and the way you think about your visual work?
So my work is about my life and about time. So I think that this helps me remember things more. Not that I necessarily go back and paint one of those memories, but I think it helps me track like my evolution as a person. I've been doing it for about 7 years.
Oh my God. So do you have just notebooks and notebooks and notebooks that...
Oh no, it's like a little journal and it stacks the year. So you can see what happened in like 2024, 2023 on the same day.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe we can get a sponsorship from them one day. So you grew up in San Antonio,
Yes.
and Texas seems to leave its mark on many Texas-born artists. There seems to be a way that you guys do stuff. How do you feel that your upbringing really shaped your work, in Texas specifically?
So I'm still processing that. I think like the color, obviously, the light, like the big open skies, sort of that sense of peace and calm definitely comes from my upbringing. Growing up with just my mom, like in Texas, like the two of us as a bond, I think like that intimacy probably makes its way into my work. Yeah.
And when I was reading about you, you didn't have a lot of art in your upbringing from school. You had a lot of art from your mother and your aunt. And eventually in your junior year of high school, you took up painting and then transferred to a magnet school later. That was your senior year that you went to the magnet school?
My junior year.
Junior, so you pretty quickly, you were like, I gotta get to this. You fell really in love. How did that initial immersion in art when you got to that magnet school affect your trajectory?
Oh, it changed everything. That teacher changed my entire life.
Okay.
She recently passed, so I don't want to get choked up on camera.
We won't go too far into it.
But yeah, I'm still in touch with her through last year. And that program, she built it up in such a way that she brought in art representatives from schools from all over the country to come and talk to us. So she opened up my entire world, and she would drive us to Houston to take our portfolios, go to portfolio day, take us to museums. She'd have us over to her house. She shaped everything for me. I wouldn't be in New York if it wasn't for her.
Same with my ceramic teacher in high school. There's always that one.
Yeah.
And did you have a different path you were thinking of before art changed your life?
I thought, maybe I'll be a teacher, maybe I'll be a vet. At one point I thought marine biologist when I was really little.
I feel like we all did.
I liked the movies, Shamu or Free Willy, but I think once I found art, that was it.
And to go back to your mom and your aunt. So your mom decorated cakes and your aunt sewed a lot and ran these craft shows.
Yeah.
Do you think their creativity was that initial push that kept it in the back of your mind the whole time?
I think it was just exciting to see them do it and to see that you could make things, and it was just added like more joy and more fun to life.
Was your mom?
I don't know that it pushed me to be an artist, though, but I think it was just helping plant seeds. Yeah.
Was your mom like a frosting person or like a fondant person?
Frosting, like Wilton cake frosting.
And after school, you choose to come to New York. Was there any other cities you were looking at originally?
Yeah, I was looking at Milwaukee, California, Laguna, kind of all over the map, SCAD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What made you pick SVA in New York in the end?
I was like, if I'm going to do this, let me go to New York. And also my dad and that side of the family had been from New York.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd heard like the legend of New York and
Mm-hmm.
Queens and their childhood from family members. So.
Did you move to Queens originally or just up to Manhattan?
I just went straight to Manhattan to
Okay.
the dorms at SVA.
Mm-hmm. So after graduating, you went to RISD to teach, because you were not an art, were you in art education for your BFA?
No.
Okay.
So it was just illustration.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, what am I going to do? You know, I thought about getting an MFA and I really wanted to, but I had a tremendous art school debt because I didn't come from money. So I was like, okay, I have to do something that's going to help me like pay off this debt. And, you know, my high school teacher had shaped my life and I'd worked at some camps. So I was like, okay, let me go see if art education is something I want to get into. So I went to RISD.
Okay. And then you moved back to the city.
Yeah.
Was there something that drew you back to the city besides just being the city in terms of education?
Josh,
Okay.
my husband.
Okay, Josh was here.
Yeah.
Awesome. And you guys dated all through the entire time? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel that your students influence your practice at all?
So I know we talked the other day and I initially said no, but I've been like thinking about this. And I think the act of teaching definitely influences me and my interactions with them. They may not shape my content necessarily, but I think showing them artists, you know, sharing that with them, seeing what they're excited about, definitely must come through in the work. Yeah.
And when I was researching, you had said that the sort of the modality of teaching, the way that you have to be organized, does affect the actual way you work.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any sort of specific organization or time management that comes from that?
Lots of lists. Time is like always, you know, the most important thing. So I think about like, I mix these palettes up, I put them in the freezer so that when I come home from school day, I can just pull them out of the freezer and like take my painting and just start working on it. So things like that help me like be more efficient.
And now I'm not a painter, so what does the freezing do?
Oh, it keeps the paint wet. So generally, like to mix this much paint, it would take me like 2 or 3 hours, but now I can do it once a month instead of once a week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's good advice if I ever get into oil painting. Get a little mini freezer.
Yeah.
How do you balance the time between teaching and working? Because both are quite demanding careers.
It's very hard.
Okay.
Yeah. I had to make some tough choices. I stopped teaching after school, found a great teacher to take my place for after school, but I just needed to make the commitment to working on my own practice. So
And was that before or after the sabbatical that you were like, no more?
that was after.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that, and we will get to talking about that and how it changed your practice.
Sure.
So you're known for your intimate domestic scenes. What initially drew you to this subject matter? Because you didn't always paint exactly this.
Yeah, I think, well, it was always a little bit different. Like in my undergrad at SVA, I would paint, like I did paintings of Johnny and June and Elvis and Priscilla and like looking at their family photos. But on the side, I was always like drawing Josh or sister Sarah, painting them. And then like over time, that just became the main focal point. It's like, let me paint my life. And also I had some health issues. So with a crisis like that, it's like a big wake up call. Like it's now or never, you know, like let's do this and go for it. Yeah.
So do you see yourself as some level of a documentarian?
Yeah.
Okay.
But a little bit, not exactly, you know, there's choices that come into it. It's more like poetry, I think. Yeah.
And I read that you have a Google Drive of just all these reference photos that you take.
Yeah.
Is there a way that you cut them down or go through them every day?
Well, I've switched from Google Drive to just my albums, so I'll look at it a lot and just sort them. Generally, like right now I have an album for this concurrent show I'm working towards. And then I also have albums of paintings that I've seen, so I'll pull those up, like that I want to refer to in my own work and sort of look at them side by side and juxtapose on the laptop.
You render these in neons and really bright colors, which are not the typical color palette for someone doing a lot of life study. Can you talk about where that came from?
Well, maybe that goes back to my roots of being a Texan. Someone once speculated that. So I'm just naturally drawn to bright colors. But I do balance it out with a lot of neutrals. And I'm trying, as I continue to paint, to push in all different directions with color because it's fun for me. I don't know if that fully answered your question.
I think it does. Because when I met you, you were really, I think, the deepest in neon I've ever seen your work get. You've sort of pulled back and gone to normal, just bright hues.
Yeah.
What does the neon do for the work? Is it an eye-catching thing? Is it, yeah.
I think it helps me convey light more.
Mm-hmm.
And also I found these neon oils, which I think I wasn't able to find them until like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And so that also shaped everything because I just couldn't find anything that bright before. Yeah.
Lovely. And have you ever thought about working really large? Or
I've tried large for me.
Okay.
I'm continuing to scale up, but slowly.
Mm-hmm.
So before I was making even smaller works. But I think, I feel best when I'm working and I'm able to like get very close to the canvas, pull my chair up to this easel and really get into the minutiae and the detail. Like that just brings me joy. Mm-hmm. Standing and painting and getting kind of ab-ex is not my comfort zone, but I'm definitely willing to push out of it. Does it serve the work?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've made some bigger works recently, and I don't know if I feel as strongly about them yet, but we may get there. Yeah.
Because you talk a lot about your influence from painters like Pierre Bonnard, who did not necessarily paint super small.
Right.
Do you ever want to emulate that more?
Yeah, I want to be Bonnard 2.0 someday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love that he would just pin canvases to the wall and then let the frame be decided through the drawing and then, just crop it out and mount it onto the stretcher bars. That kind of allowed it to be more expansive, I think. And so someday, I'd like to do that.
One of the first works I ever shipped as an art shipper was a Bonnard. And I was like, it was one of his sketches for one of his larger works. And I remember just being like, oh, this is a real job. This thing is worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's scary.
It's very scary.
Yeah, and it was in the original frame still, so I had to pack it like that. Oh my God. I was sweating. Awesome. Let's take a quick break.
Sure.
And we'll be back.
Okay.
Thank you. And I'm back with Heather Drayzen. So Heather, I want to go back into Bonnard. You take a lot of inspiration from technique and the way that they paint, and you dance the line between classical painter and very contemporary painter. Can you talk about what it's like to really, I just think you really are historically referential. Talk about what draws you to that and also what I guess you're focusing on most when you're painting when it comes to historical reference.
Okay. Oh, that's a good question. So I'm thinking of Bonnard and like going up to those paintings, it feels like a sensory experience. There's so much color vibration and it's hard to put into words what that does exactly, but I feel immersed. And I feel like I can look at those paintings again and again and find something new. I guess in terms of influences with my work, I'll see a scene, for example, like there's an older painting that I did where Josh was Swiffering the bathroom. And then in that moment, I saw him doing that, but I sort of like this index catalog of paintings in my brain went back to this painting of Mart in the bathroom. And so I'll see moments in my own life and be able to like simultaneously think about paintings from history. And, I'll just take the references and then sort of look at that painting and look at my reference and make my choices from there. Yeah.
And a lot of the paintings that you are inspired by are rendered in oil, but you were not always an oil painter.
Right.
So you were originally using acrylics and watercolors. Were you just, the ease of use? Was it the drying time? What kept you originally at those?
Well, I think I had some traumatic experiences with oil in college and art school. I didn't quite know how to use it. Things were a mess. I felt very stressed out. So that's why I sort of diverted and just continued with watercolor and acrylics. And then I took a really great continuing ed painting class. And, that teacher, John Parks, showed me how to mix like a professional palette. Even though I'd gone to art school, I didn't necessarily have that experience of like really thoroughly giving me specific color recipes and mixes, and I was able to build from that. Yeah.
And that was a very classic life study class with the model and everything.
Mm.
And you were painting very accurate paintings in that, or you were doing your bright color palette?
I was more like just paint what you see.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that developed into the bright color palette from there, or were you taking a break from the color palette in that class?
I didn't have the neon oils back then. I did have Holbein quinacridone opera, which I used, which is the closest thing I could find to neon pink. But I was more just painting what I see. I thought it was like sort of a form of meditation. I wanted to get into the practice of being a painter. I wanted to do it regularly. It was 6-hour classes. I did it every Saturday for 4 years. I had a nice community, and I was able to, turn my brain off from school and teaching and just go and just paint. And I love painting portraits, so that was fun for me.
Did being a student, did it make you a better teacher, being a student again?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it is relaxing to sort of be out of that full control for a while?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love being a student.
Yes. So we've talked about sort of, you met your husband at SVA in your freshman year?
Yeah.
Pretty early on?
October of freshman year.
Oh, wow. Very quick.
I know.
Did it start as a collaboration or just being classmates and then move into something else, or?
Actually, we were never classmates. Wow. He was friends with one of my roommates.
Okay.
And so that's how I met him. Yeah.
And so now it's been a while, and you've gone into this living, working space with him. Mm-hmm. Is there a significant effect on your practice from that?
Yeah, I think so. It's quiet, I'll call him in every day and say, come look at this painting. Mm-hmm. He shows me his drawings when in the living room. He has a desk in the living room. So it's just very fluid. It's very organic in our lives. We're constantly going to see exhibitions together. We're having a lot of the same experiences. Our work is very different, but we've noticed that there are some threads with color, and light, I think. Yeah.
And do you feel that you two can always give each other honest feedback regardless of anything else?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've been together for 21 years, so he has this sort of relationship with my work that's special and that I don't think anybody else does. He can think back to, way back in the past when looking at the work. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess he's seen the full...
Yeah, he's seen the full evolution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you just name a one best thing about the living working space?
The dogs.
Yeah, I guess you have all of your subjects here available all the time.
Exactly.
And is there something that you wish you could change about the way it works besides just a larger space?
Oh, that would be my initial answer.
Yeah.
When we have studio visits, I have to clean the apartment. I don't like to do that.
That's a really good answer. I'm glad I put the space thing out of the way so we can get back. So when I first met you, we were in Matt Nolan's Ceramics 2 class at Pratt. Shout out Matt Nolan, love you. Heart. You were creating a sculpture of your dogs, Winfred and Winslow. What was it like exploring? You had done some ceramics, right?
In high school.
Yeah.
Barely.
So this is your first time doing ceramics back in a while. And you jumped right into ceramics too, which is not easy. What was it like to pick up a new medium later in your career?
It was really exciting. I felt like I didn't know what to do with my hands. I hadn't touched clay in so long. I liked being a beginner again. That was also sometimes stressful, but I had the year up. It was one of the greatest years of my adult life. Just go in. I also took a drawing class there. I took a poetry class, not at Pratt, but somewhere else. And it was nice to be. It was like a reset.
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah.
And the sabbatical the school district you work in that gives you a certain amount of years. They give you guys time off? Or?
So you have to apply for it, and you can apply for a full year after 14 years of teaching.
Oh my God, you gotta really stick it out. And can you just quickly, for any young educators who might be choosing the district they go in, talk about the program that you were using to go to Pratt for free at the time?
So I have student teachers from Pratt in my classroom, and so whenever semester or so when they come, I'll get a voucher at the end. Then I was able to go and take those classes for free.
Yeah,
mostly free. It wasn't completely.
Okay, yeah. Because I remember you had showed me the before bill, and then when you added the thing, and I was like, oh my God, this place is too much money.
Yeah.
We are getting ripped off. So when I met you on that first day in class, you had explained the sabbatical thing to me and the voucher thing, because I was like, this is it's a great little program that they have. They actually reward you guys. So I was worried that they were just sending students for no reward for you. But you basically had said that you were taking this year to work on your practice for the first time because teaching is so demanding and you really just wanted to work on your practice. The other thing you said is you were working to get your first solo show, something that you had done, which I think the studio gave you a round of applause for like setting that goal and giving it. So I want to know what it was like and what really made you decide to set that big significant goal and work towards it.
So this was the first time where I could really focus and just be a painter. You know, I had been working on my practice, but always within the context of the school and academic year. And I was like, it's now or never. Like, this is my chance to really immerse myself and feel what it's like to have all of this time to work on just my art. It's like such a gift. Yeah. And with that, I was like, okay, I'm going to go to all the shows, all the openings, like visit my friends. I still always try to support them, but really show up for as much as I can. And paint and write about painting, and I don't know if I fully answered your question.
I've got a whole host of follow-ups.
I feel I trailed off with
that.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah. I really want to move through this because I think, and I think I told you this when we were talking before, that one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you was because I think in terms of for artists who are educators, but also artists in general, that sort of setting a goal, making a plan, and going through it is very inspiring, and also just it's a true like show of an artist, you know, wanting to get something done. So I just sort of want to work through your thinking and how that played out for you.
Okay.
So you took the sabbatical knowing you wanted to work on the work. Did you know you wanted a solo show immediately, or did that come as your work started to develop?
Before, at the end of the school year before sabbatical, I was offered a 2-person show. So I was working towards that, actually, with in mind of, okay, this is my big shot. You know, I haven't had an exhibition of this size before, only group shows until then. And so I really wanted to devote myself to that and make it the strongest it could. And if that led to more shows, great. Yeah.
And was there a difficulty in managing the balance between honing your craft, learning obviously ceramics at the time, and then also striving to get that recognition? What was the push and pull like, balancing everything?
I think mostly it was I wanted to immerse myself in the painting and also take these classes, which was helping me sort of, you know, if I was stuck on a painting, I could then go into the kitchen and work on some ceramics. And I felt like that kept things fresh. I think maybe the push in terms of like getting my work out there was just being really present on social media, which I don't necessarily always have the time to do.
And after your first solo show, did you start to feel that pressure of a working artist from the market? Did it shape the work in a new way?
I was offered another show around that time of that show ending, so I think I was more just excited about new beginnings. I definitely wanted works to sell. I want that. But ultimately, I want to continue painting, and at some point, if people buy it, that's wonderful. I don't know if that totally answers your question. I did have some sales, which was exciting. I was like, this is great. People want to have my work on their walls. It's very special. But I wouldn't say that the market is my first thought. It's like kind of have to have two hats. My friend Janelle says, like, you've got your your businessing hat, and then you've got your artist hat, and you have to flip-flop in between them. It's really hard to bring the business hat into the studio. I like to keep them separate.
And I guess my question was, did you find that because you were spending all your time on your work and working on getting these shows, did you feel the business hat creep in more than it had previously?
Yeah, I think when it comes to, like, once the work is done and it comes to getting a press packet together, like having to go talk to, try to get press and all of those things, that definitely was new for me, a new experience. But that kind of comes at the end. So, like, during the making of it, I'm not thinking about that as much.
Because there are some people we talk to who are like, I'm worried about it all the time.
Okay.
And there are some people who are like you, who are like, it happens.
Yeah.
Do you feel that, I guess my follow-up question is, do you feel that your relationship with art dealers has changed, or that like the dealer as a concept, having dealers come visit your studio more and work with them more?
Well, I've been very lucky, I think. The dealers or gallerists that I'm closest with, they're also my friends, or I consider them my friends. You know, there's definitely, again, the friendship, and then there's the businessing side. So there's a line there, but I really respect them. They're small business owners. You know, I'm not working with blue chip galleries, so these are people that really are putting their heart and soul into the space. And they support the work, so that's exciting. I think I've been very lucky so far. Yeah.
And so you feel like was that sabbatical a life-changing moment, life-changing decision? Are you happy that you...
Yes,
yeah.
I'm very happy. Yeah.
Was there any really big lessons outside of the business of art or just working on your projects that came out of that?
So I've been back into teaching this is my second year back into it, so it's sort of refreshing. I don't know about that. I think it's more just like lean into the fun. You know, sometimes I'm such an art history nerd that I can go down that rabbit hole. And sometimes their faces are like, oh, why can't we just go paint now? So I think it's important to remember to have fun. Like this is, it's great to mix paint. It's exciting to do new things and try new things. And
that brings up
keep it light.
Yeah, 2 questions for me. I'm wondering, do you have, because you teach Gen Alpha, right?
I guess I haven't heard of them that term.
Yeah, because they're like 13, right?
11 to 13.
Okay, so that's Gen Alpha. Do you have a favorite Gen Alpha word that they say? Any crazy lingo that is your favorite?
Oh gosh, I think maybe it comes more from my nephew, who's maybe above Gen Alpha. He just will go through a vocabulary list, and right now, I wouldn't say this is my favorite, but all I can think of right now is cappin', which I just thought was hilarious.
I was looking at this painting back here. Do you have such a way of rendering hair? How do you have any advice for rendering hair? Because that's a really hard thing for people.
Well, I use these hog hair brushes, so I think that helps to keep the paint kind of up on the surface, and you can get your dry brush moments, and then just following the contour of the flow. But I have dogs with like sort of wavy hair, right? So there's all different types of dogs and hair types. So,
I also am just looking at your necklace. You have a lot of fun like beaded jewelry. Do you make it yourself?
My friend Lauren made this for me.
Okay.
And then actually Tara made little pins of that painting behind you. So there you go.
Yeah.
So there's Winslow, and then I added Winnie to it.
So you find that, I guess, because you have a very colorful wardrobe as well. Color is just the biggest part of your life.
I think I started wearing more color when I was painting more, actually.
Okay.
It's like,
Also, the rainbows are here.
Rainbows are here.
Oh my God, we'll have to get some shots of those. Okay, my last question for you is, I was wondering if we'd be able to bring the dogs in here and have a moment to meet the dogs.
Sure.
We'll take a quick break and bring them in here?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Hi, okay, ready? And
we're going to get shots with Sam and Winnie.
Hi.
Love sponges.
Winslow, hi, hello. Winslow, come here. Hi, Winnie.
Winslow, come on, baby.
Hi.
Hi.
Awesome.
Puppy. Oh, look at you with your rainbows. Okay. Maybe I can lift your butt with this arm. I don't know.
There we go. Hi, Winnie. Okay. Hi. We're rolling? Alrighty, we've got Winnie and Winslow here. They're ready. Hi, hello. These are the muses.
Yes.
Oh my God, the greatest muses of all time. You can see that lovely wavy hair, everybody, that we see in the works. Oh my God, they're so cute.
Yeah. Look, you can see rainbows when they appear on your fur sometimes.
Oh, okay. Oh, lovely. I don't even know if I have a full question about the dogs. I just wanted everyone to meet them.
Well, she has a rainbow, or she had one on her eyebrow.
Oh, I see. That's right, little there. Awesome. I probably had a question, but I can't even think of it anymore. I just, the dogs are so exciting. Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm trying to organize my thoughts right now. I'm having cuteness overload. I'm blanked. I just want to talk to dogs. No, don't leave me. Oh, no, okay, you're just repositioning. That's totally okay. Okay, you're so good. You're such a good actress for the camera.
They really are.
Looking right into it. Alrighty, let me focus. Okay. Heather, thank you so much for being here with us today. Thank you for having us in your studio in your home. You getting off me? No. Okay. Yeah. We're gonna do the walk around interview now. But where can people find you online?
So it's my name, heatherdrayzen.com, or at Heather Drayzen on Instagram.
Yeah, and can you plug that show that's coming up, or no, not yet?
Not yet.
Okay, not yet.
Soon.
Never mind. If you can plug it by the time we post it, let me know and I'll definitely put it in. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining us today. My brain has ceased functioning. These dogs are just so cute, and I'm so happy to have them on me. Thank you. Have a lovely day, everybody, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye bye.